Alright guys, so today we have Argus, an early look. Omeda was kind enough to let me check out their newest character early, their newest original character. So huge shout out to everyone over at Omeda Studios. This character's cool. I'll say it, this character's very cool. I'm gonna have a patch notes video coming out today as well, I believe. I'm gonna have a short coming out, and I'm gonna have a video here talking about Argus and a bit about the new flower mechanic. Very interesting. But I'm going to be watching back some gameplay I had earlier. I'm going to be watching it live. We'll jump into that in a second. But right now, I just want to go over Argus. This will be all gone over in the patch notes. But just so you don't have to jump around, I'm going to dump all the Argus information right here. So Disintegrate, his passive, Argus's ability to apply a stack of Disintegration for 3 seconds, causing subsequent instances of ability damage to deal 2 plus 1.5% of his magical power as bonus magical damage. Each stack of Disintegration deals 40% more damage, stacking infinitely, capped at 12 against monsters. So the more you're hitting people, the more damage you're pumping out. It's scaling. This character, I have a feeling he's going to go crazy, and this passive is a big part of it. Flux Bolt, just as basic attacks, ranged basic attacks, dealing 54 plus 60% physical power, physical damage. Not a whole lot. Pretty weak autos. Be expected from, this is like a true mage. Particle Shredder, his alternate ability. Argus fires homing projectiles from his abyssal staff. This is his right click. For up to 3.5 seconds. So you just hold right click, you can let it go to cancel it early, and you'll shoot a bunch of balls from your staff. You'll see in the footage. Each projectile consumes mana and deals 18 going up to 50 at max level, plus 10% of your magical power per blast. At maximum rank, this is very cool, Particle Shredder can be used indefinitely. As long as you have the mana, you can use the ability. The cooldown is 6 seconds, going down to only 2 at max level. This very, very short cooldown. The cost is 8 mana, going up to 20 at max level. If you are stacking mana, which I think people will in this character, you can keep that thing going for a long time. Crazy ability, works really well with this Disintegrate passive. Dread Nova, his primary ability, his Q. Argus lobs an unstable orb of energy. Upon landing, it explodes, dealing 85, going up to 185 at max level, plus 60% magical of your magical power as magical damage to all nearby enemies, and stuns them for 1.25 seconds. It's actually sort of similar to Morgish Hive in the way that like it hits the ground and it's a bit of an AoE. The cooldown is 16 seconds, going down to 12. The cost is 60, going up to 80 at max level. It is a pretty easy to hit stun. It's fairly forgiving, not hard. Fast moving projectile, pretty easy to secure. Cooldown's decently long, but for a 1.25 second stun that does a fair bit of damage, not bad. Ether Crystal, very interesting ability. This is his E. Argus summons an Ether Crystal at the target location for 2 seconds. The crystal will push enemy heroes from the center and lift allied heroes into the air. So it's kind of like almost like a rocket jump that you can do to your teammates or yourself. Interesting for positioning. You can use it to get into Fang Pit. You can use it to get onto platforms. You can use it just for evasion in general. Very, very interesting. Weird self-peel. Very cool ability. I think it's super fun just from the little bit I played with it. So he'll lift himself and allied heroes into the air, producing a storm that deals 20 going up to 60, plus 18% of your magical power as magical damage every 0.5 seconds to nearby enemies, and slows them for 40% for 0.5 seconds. 40 is nothing to laugh at. After the duration, the crystal will implode, pulling all enemies within the center. Or within to the center. So anyone that's in the AoE, they'll get a little pull towards the middle of it. It's probably not as strong as you're imagining. Again, you'll see in the footage, but it is very useful. Really good for setting up your stun on multiple targets as it pulls them all together. Cooldown's 14 seconds. The cost is 60, going up to 80 at max level. Synaptic Obliterator, another very interesting, fun ability. His ultimate ability, or his R. After a short delay, Argus channels for up to 8 seconds. The delay is very short. Gaining immunity to pushes and pulls, so he can't be displaced, but he can be stunned, so keep that in mind. Not CC immune in your ult. Whilst deploying his ultimate weapon to fire up to 3 powerful energy beams. Each beam deals 90 going up to 170 at max level, plus 30% of your magical power as magical damage. So not super hard hitting, but the utility behind this ultimate, increased by up to 125% based on the target's missing health, and slows enemies hit by 60% for 0.5 seconds. The cooldown is 120, going down to 80 at max level, and costs 100 flat at all levels. When you see the range on this ability, you will see from the gameplay footage, and you take into account that it's a 60% slow, and can do that much, and has the kind of like low health execute mechanic that Zera's Spear has. This thing, well, actually, it's a bit more than what Zera's Spear has. I think it's more so like Chimera Jump. This thing hits. This thing does so much. It does decent damage at like, but when they're low health, it's a great execute tool. The range, the slow, the fact that it pierces terrain, by the way, just goes through walls. Doesn't even say that. By the way, this goes through walls. Crazy. So we're gonna hop into the gameplay. That's all for this bears. See you in a second. All right, so here we got some gameplay on screen now. I have gameplay of both the skin and the base skin, the paid skin and the base skin, I guess is what I'm saying. Again, I cannot stress how fun this character is. I think of the three Omega originals, Kira, Xeris, and now Argus, Argus is by far my favorite. I think his kit's super fun, meshes well together. I think he's very unique. It's great. By the way, if you hear a bit of buzzing, your headset's not broken. It's me. The client that we were using did not like the way I was recording audio, so it buzzes a bit. I apologize. But it's 1:30 a.m. and I'm getting this video ready for you guys, so I have something to show. Again, thank you to Omega. Little combo gameplay going on here. Unfortunately, I did not have a chance to get in any player versus player games with like the IT team or anything. So I was just running some AI so I could show off the kit. It's always easier to understand stuff visually. We do also have the flowers, a cool mechanic. I think they're called blast flowers in League. So you can shoot them and launch yourself a bit to traverse terrain. There is one in duo lane where you just saw it, and one in the opposite side in off lane. There are one near each 2 camp that launches you over the wall into river where bugs are. As you see, there's one in front of Fang Pit, and there is also, or behind Fang Pit, near stair side, and there is also one near Orb Pit, behind Orb Pit stair side. There's some showcasing of the right click consuming all of my mana. Very, very cool ability. Again, I think people will be building mana stacking on this character, or maybe even also time warp to regen mana while you're shooting, because I believe you do regen mana while you're casting. Capable of outputting a ton of damage, again, especially when you consider his passive, which does cap out on jungle monsters. It still caps out pretty high, but does add up against heroes, especially. See, the stun, pretty easy to hit. His kit is not too hard. The only thing that's kind of hard about his kit, similar to the Morgesh, is your lack of mobility. But even while Morgesh has her little dash and can move through targets, Argus has CC, a full-on stun, a slow, a pull, and he has self-displacement with that launch, which is very cool. I actually think I use here. Actually, okay, I don't use it. I can't wait to see the clips people put together. And here we go, piercing through the terrain with the all decent range showcased there. Here we go, the self launch is right here. Whew. I can't wait to see people style on some people, get some clips. This character's gonna look sick in highlight reels. We get another little ult through the wall right here. Fun. I cannot describe. There you go. Traversing vertically from river into lane. Very cool. I cannot stress how much, like, seriously, this character is so cool. So cool, this Argus guy. His skin is really nice too. The red particle effects visually. Like, can we talk about this character visually? The static effects look so cool. More ulting through walls. I want to showcase how cool that is. impactful this character is on ganks. And think about this character in support. That ult might not do a whole lot if you're not building. The base numbers aren't bad, honestly. Even support, you might be doing some decent damage. But think about like the CC and the... Man, I think this character is going to be a dominating force both in mid and support. And here's the max range, basically, as you see Drongo quickly gets out of the range. But that's halfway through river into the middle of the lane? That's crazy. Crazy range on this guy. See a little just for fun blast flower gameplay here. I don't know what we're actually going to call these things. They don't spawn right away, and honestly, it is too late for me to take the time to research to tell you exactly when they spawn. I'm sure it'll be in the patch note, which will also come out today. This video should be going live at, I believe it's 11 EST when our embargo lifts. And it's 1:30 a.m. I'm so tired, but I want to get the video out. I do it for the viewers. And see just how long you're able to hold it. It's so cool. It's such a good, cool ability. So much fun. A little more blast flower gameplay. A little more the right click. It's just so well designed. Omeda really knocked it out of the park. I know I've been an Omeda doubter the last while, but man, this character has really knocked it out of the park. And here we got the Affinity Track. Great Affinity skin, by the way. Another certified banger for Argus is Affinity skin, and his emote might be my favorite emote in the game, other than maybe the dab. But look at that prestige skin. I don't know why I didn't rotate him. You get the normal stuff. It's the humanoid crown. I love his little humming. It's so good. Well, while Argus dances, I will sign off. There should be 2 videos on screen now. Give those a click. Thank y'all so much for watching. If you want to see some variety gameplay, go down in the description. You'll find a link to my variety channel. That's all for me. Bears out. Peace.